Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new episode of LEGO Marvel's Avengers Customs, and we are continuing our epic series, whereby, of course, on every episode we customize 2 brand new characters and try to get them added to our roster. Little by little, we add more and more different characters. We've designed characters such as the Terminator before, Punisher, lots and lots of different characters I've already done, like Wolverine, Batman, so on and so forth. So you can go back, check those out. Hopefully you will enjoy them as well. But today we're actually going to be working on 2 very cool characters as well, and that is the Blitzbot Mark V and Zane from Ninjago. So of course, once we complete Zane, all we will have left at that point is going to be Kai, I believe, right? And Naya. I mean, we could design Sensei Wu as well, but I think that would be unreasonable. It'd be too many Ninjago characters at the same time. So I think that on the next episode, we will for sure design Kai and then one other character. So once again, always use the comment section down below. Let me know what you want to see. What characters do you want to see specifically? I'm always reading that, always keeping my eyes open for what it is that you guys want to see. On top of that, I did want to go ahead and thank you guys once again. Thank you so very much for being absolutely awesome and lovely folks, for dropping a like on the last video. I was very worried about how that one was going to be received because it was a different thumbnail and everything. So thank you guys for being absolutely awesome. And once again, if we could go ahead and reach 2,000 likes on this episode as well, that would be absolutely amazing. So let's go on ahead and make our way through here and get to work, shall we? So, the Blitzbot Mark V is a design that a lot of you guys wanted to see, and the way that it's going to be designed is going to be a battle damage version, because you guys were like, hey, we want to see a battle damage version of the Mark V, so I was like, okay, let's make it happen. I think that that's a reasonable request, so let's make this happen, shall we? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of Robin here, who, by the way, I still think looks fantastic, and get to working on our battle damaged Blitzbot. So I think because it is a battle damaged look, I think we might go with no weapons, maybe. We'll see. Alright, so battle damage. That makes me think of a few different designs, one of which is without a shadow of a doubt this one right here, with the kind of like broken up one eye there. So I think what we could do is we could, I really want to go with the red, but at the same time, another part of me wants to go with maybe this right here, right? But again, the problem is, oh man, this is when I wish we could change colors, because if we could make that red, like if we could take this face and then make, instead of the skin color, make it red, that would be perfect. It would like work perfectly well for what we're going for. But unfortunately, we can't do that right now, so we kind of have to work within the limitations that are given to us. So I think we might go with just like plain red, and I don't really like the way that it looks with that face, so unfortunately we can't even use that face either. So we're gonna have to improvise even more. Maybe this? Nope, that's not gonna look good. Yikes. Okay, this is definitely going to be a lot tougher than I thought, because you see, going into this, I thought, oh, it'll be perfectly easy, because I forgot that we can change colors. So this is certainly quite the task. I mean, we could go with this, but I feel like that's a little too battle damaged almost. Ooh. Okay, so I just thought of something a little bit different, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. But this could be Anti-Blitz, who is like the villainous version. Okay, you know what? Let's go. Let's do this, guys. So as you type comments for whatever designs you want to see, also come up with a name for like a villainous, the main villain that Blitzbot would fight. And this is who we're going to build today, because I think that now that I see that face, I'm like, that looks pretty awesome. So I kind of want to go with that. We will do the battle damage version as well. Don't worry. Hopefully we'll do that once there is an update that allows us to like change the colors again. So we'll hopefully get to that again sooner rather than later. But I think I really like that design, because that looks so cool. Let's see. We want to make him villainous, so we're gonna have to look for something unique. I like that hood right there. That does look really cool, actually. So we might go with that. Either the hood, or I kind of like this as well, because it does look a little goofy, but I think the hood looks the best, honestly, because it covers up the back of the mask. Ooh, I like that. I think we're going to go with the hood right there, because it looks really neat. And then as far as the outfit goes, we got to go with something... Oh, you see, part of me goes like, okay, well, it's got to be a robot as well. It's got to be a robotic type character. But at the same time, another part of me goes like, we could go with something like this and make it a little bit more like, you know, kind of maybe some sort of like a smart robotic villain like this, you know, with like a weird attire that he's wearing. And then we could make the arms probably black because the green doesn't really work well. And... then this could be like a blitz bot that maybe like the was gone wrong, and then the experiment has like turned this guy into this. That could be a cool design. Let's see. I kind of really like those leggings, but I think those are a little too colorful, to be honest. What about this? That's a little bit too much color as well. I mean, the one that would be fitting would be something like this, obviously, and then maybe turn that color so it's like there. That's a pretty good look, actually. And I think the weapon of choice that we were going to go with is probably the bow and arrow. Oh man, all right, I like it. So you know what, I'm not even gonna give this character a name because you guys are gonna decide that name. So come up with names in the comments section below, and I will be surveying the comments, and for the next episode we will have that figured out. So for now we're just gonna call him A, because we don't know what his name is. We could call him, you know what, for fun, we could call him, as my Canadian brethrens often say, A? There we go. That's his name. Perfect. Alright, so there's A. Alrighty-roo. But now it is time to go on ahead and design the one, the only Zane. So, with Zane, he is probably the character that I had the most difficulty figuring out how to do right off the bat, because there's so many different designs of Zane. Like, there's designs of Zane where he is a robot, mostly, where he's like a cybernetic type robot. Then there are designs where he's got, like, you know, the regular yellow Lego heads. Then there are designs where he's got a certain hairpiece where, like, it's basically kind of like a flat top. I don't even know if it's in the game. Let's see. Is there anything like it? I mean, this is probably pretty close to it, but again, obviously we can't use it because of the color. So that's probably that. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that is like somewhat as close as possible. They're really not close, but that's about as close as we can get to what he actually has. So sometimes he has that hairpiece. Kind of actually looks a little bit like this one, but a lot flatter and doesn't have like the curvature to it. So that's one of his haircut types. And then other times he has no hair at all, because when he's the robot, it's just like he's wearing like a mask and stuff. So it's very weird in that sense that there are so many different renditions. And then there are, of course, variations of him where he is like half robotic. So there were so many different methods or variations that we could go by that I'm honestly not even sure which one to go with because of that. So I think what we will do is we'll start with the torso and then kind of work our way out to the rest of the body. And then from there, we'll come back to the head, because I think that's the most reasonable way of doing this, honestly. So with that being said, once again, torso also a little bit of a tricky thing, because sometimes I believe he wore the white attire like in older Ninjago designs, but then now he wears, I mean, now they wear kind of like black mostly with their color, but he has worn a bunch of silver, and I think that that's what we're going to go with, is the silver, because I think that that should look quite cool. Plus there's a lot more silver colors to offer than there are white, because as far as white goes, we have this right here, which does look kind of cool, to be honest, but we have white tiger, we have plain white, we have this, and pretty much this. So not really all that much to work with. I mean, some other stuff like maybe this, but that obviously wouldn't work for somebody like Zane. So because of that, since we're going with silver, that might look cool, actually. I kind of really like the way that that looks. That looks nice. This one up here might look kind of interesting as well. Never mind. That one's a little bit too plain, right? So we can't really go with that. We got to go with something a little bit more silvery. The main issue right now is that everything I'm looking at is very much gray and not silver, which is very different. It's quite distinct. So It's really difficult to select something. That would look cool, but it has a little too much going on. Like, I feel like the design is so like, there's so much stuff. You're like, what, wait a minute, what is happening to you? I can't figure out what is occurring with this design. So it's really difficult to nail down in that sense. Okay. Let me think here. I have to think now very diligently here as to what I can use. Man, this is really, really a lot tougher than I thought it would be. Which I feel like I've said it plenty of times, and I know that I'm well aware of it. Maybe that? You know what? That actually doesn't look that bad. I like it. So let's try it. We'll go with the silver arms. No, those are way too silver. We need this. Yep. So kind of more grayish than silver, unfortunately. The gloves do remain black. We will change the weapon in just a moment. As far as the rest of the attire, we do want to go with something... No, I don't want to go... Well, How about this? Does that look good? That does look good. And then the legs, we need... something like that, maybe, right? I don't know. It's a little bit too dark. Just a touch too dark. I think that looks pretty nice. You know, I wish that there was something that bright of a silver. Is there anything of that silver? Let's just kind of cycle through stuff real quick. I mean, that matches up decently, but the problem is, again, it doesn't really work for Zane. So I'm just going to quickly cycle through stuff, and if there's anything that kind of makes me go like, that looks good, then we'll stop and explore that possibility when it comes. What was that? No, that's a little too much dark colors, or too many dark colors, I should say, on that. Yeah. Ooh. That actually does look kind of nice, to be honest. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the fact that we have the little arc reactor thing in the center, but that's not bad. That's War Machine, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's just cycle through. I really like the War Machine look. That does look really nice. So we could totally go with that, maybe, possibly. That looks kind of nice too. But yeah, I think we might go with the War Machine look, actually. War Machine is the runner-up right now, for sure, actually. I think that's the best looking of the bunch, because it's not that dark. That looks pretty cool. I wish that the red on that was a different color, then we would have probably used it. If it was like white lines, we would have totally used that. Because that does look really nice, actually. Ooh! You know what? I think that actually looks proper cool. Like, that looks really, really well. Let's see. If we turn the arms to like a... Nah, that's a little too bright. How about that? Is that too bright? Yeah, it's a tiny little bit too bright. Is there something that's like a closer gray? Ooh, maybe the light gray right here? Maybe that? Nope, that's a little too light. Man, it's like they get the shade just to be a tiny little bit too light. Ooh, I like that, though. I think that looks pretty nice. All right, so we nailed the arms, we nailed the hips, we nailed everything, and now we just need to give him a weapon of choice. So, man, with him, it's really tricky, because I think... for the most part, I believe Zane uses the daggers, right? I'm pretty sure. So, oh man, okay, let me just remember. So, for Jay, we gave him the Black Widow batons. For Cole, we gave him the axe. We're gonna give this sword to Kai, so we can give these swords to Zane. I think that that's a reasonable choice. Now we just need to get the face to look correct, which is gonna be the most difficult part of this whole thing. And this whole equation, because that's the part that's really challenging. I wish we could use something like this. The main issue is that at the time of this recording, unfortunately, like for example, that would look really cool, right? If we change the face, it would work perfectly. The main issue with it is that I can't change colors of this. So for example, previously you'd be able to pick a face or pick a head, like let's say that one, and then you could go over to here and be like, oh, but I want it to be dark stone gray, and then change its color. Now, as you can see, you can't do that anymore, which is very, 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 very frustrating, because that means that you have to kind of work within a far greater amount of limitations and kind of improvise a lot more about how you can make this look somewhat decent. So Oh, yeah. That's going to be tricky. That is going to be very, very, very tricky. If we want, we could go with something like this. But that would have worked if we went with the white outfit. It doesn't really work with this outfit, so we can't really use any of the headpieces. So as far as hair goes, if we go for the Zane look, then... this is so tricky, because I went with the silver look, which means that he should be a robot at that point. And I don't believe that... Does robotic Zane... I can't remember if he has a hairpiece. I want to say he doesn't, but... For some reason, I'm starting to question that. I feel like he does have like a silver, like a gray hairpiece, doesn't? Does he or does he not? I can't remember now, guys. I genuinely cannot remember. I genuinely cannot remember if he does or does not. Because I just remember that he does... I think he still has a hairpiece. It's just fully coated in silver, which, again, unfortunately is not something that we have available to us. Because this is obviously like grayish slash white, so that won't work. This the only other kind of color that we have, but again, that's also white and gray, so that doesn't work either. Oh man, so we have to, again, I wish we had that, but as a full hairpiece, because then we could have totally used it. This is just plain white, so again, that wouldn't work. So we have to kind of improvise here and almost like combine a different version of Zane than I think we have ever seen, so to speak, because we have to probably use the Zane hairpiece that like one of these types of colors, like, you know, this kind of light blondish, and the best of those is probably this one right here, Captain Britain one. I think that that's the closest that we have available. And then for the face, man, this is really tough. This is truly, truly really tough. Is there anything that is somewhat similar? I don't think there is, and that's the biggest issue. Even something like that, yeah, it just gives you the eyes. It doesn't give you, like, the half design. Oh, man. We could go with that, but it doesn't work. It just looks weird because we don't have the little metallic thing over it. Oh, yeah. What about this one right here? I actually wonder, would that look decent? No. It just looks a little off. I probably should change, actually, the face color. We could make the face yellow then, right? Like a Lego head yellow, because I think that might be our best choice, actually, is to just make it yellow and then make the face more simplistic, like that, for example, like Agent Coulson style, even though, from what I remember, his eyebrows were a lot more, like, pointed down. They were kind of more like sharp and angular, and I don't think that there's anything quite of that kind around here. Maybe Baron Strucker. Nope, can't make that work. We need something that is... Oh, whoops, no, we can't have the facial hair, unfortunately. That does not fit Zane whatsoever, so we cannot use that whatsoever. We need like a sharper eyebrow though, like something that's a little bit more pointed down, almost like this maybe. It's a little better. That's the best one so far, for sure. I'm just looking if there's anything that's a bit more pointed downwards. Nope, that does not work either. Some of them have, like, the right look, but the problem is that they come with, like, facial hair and stuff, so we can't pick them, unfortunately. Nope, can't use that either. That would work very well if we could have that to be pointed down. So yeah, I think the Human Torch one was probably the best one of the bunch right now, honestly. So I think that that's the one that we shall go with. All right, so I cannot believe it, but we actually have completed another character from the Ninjago universe. And I know a lot of you guys were actually asking, could I do an episode where I just show like all of the characters from Ninjago that we designed? Absolutely. Don't worry. That will be something that I will for sure try to do relatively soon once we have the whole team assembled and complete. All right, so we have Zane in position. Let's go on ahead and teleport on to a hub world and summon the two characters in so we could see which one looks best. And I would love for you guys to actually vote in the comment section below which one is your favorite of the two designs that we have built. So just take a second. If you're enjoying these videos, it really does help me out a ton to keep you guys engaged and just see you guys engaged in terms of like seeing like, hey, this is something that you guys are enjoying, and this is something that you like to see, and so on and so forth. So just take a second, let me know in the comment section below as soon as I show you guys the 2 characters, which is your favorite. You can always also leave suggestions for other character designs that you would like for me to attempt to build. And on top of all that, of course, do not forget to let me know of a villainous name for the Blitz bot to face off against. All right, so let's see the characters that we've designed. So here's the villainous... Whoa. Oh my goodness. He looks so cool. Seriously. He turned out way cooler than I thought. Like, look at that. That is amazing. That is so neat. If you guys come up with your own designs, by the way, tweet them at me, at Blitzwinger. I can't wait to see your ideas. So definitely tweet them at me with your own designs of a villainous Blitzbot. If you have your own designs of the Blitzbot, tweet them at me as well. I'll totally be super duper happy to check those out. All right, and then we also have Zane right here, who is looking very, very cool with his dual-wielding swords like an absolute boss. Obviously, very much a design that was that had to kind of take bits and pieces of different Zane designs, because Zane has gone through so many different iterations. I feel like he's the character that has changed the most, especially visually, like aesthetically, than any other Ninjago character, at least to my knowledge. And again, I'm not a huge Ninjago fan, but from what I've seen. So that certainly does seem to be the case. But nonetheless, ladies and gents, there you have it. That is the lovely team of Anti-Blitz and the one and only Zane. So once again, come up with a name for the bad guy. I can't wait to reveal that name on the next episode. And of course, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, I hope to see you guys here next time. Peace out. See you laters, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.